You can manifest anything that you want. You can, because the second that you decide that you want it, it already becomes a reality. Your inner being becomes the vibrational version of it. So that means that this vibrational reality, this vortex, everything that you want has already been manifested, has already been attracted, and all that it's waiting for is you. You have to let it in. You have to do the only part of your work, which is letting it in. That's all you have to do, because everything else in the process, the asking, the exposure to the contrast, the living the life and coming to new conclusions, all of that just happens naturally. But your job is the joy factor. Your job is the satisfaction factor. Your job is to let these dreams in, let these dreams turn into a reality. Those desires that feel stale to you, the reason why they feel stale, because the thing is, if a desire hasn't been here, hasn't been manifesting, then you begin very accustomed to looking at it and taking score of it and looking at it as it's not here, because it's not here. You're a realist in that way. And yet we want those stale desires. We want all of your desires to always feel fresh to you. And you have to find a way to do that. You have to find a way to stay in the receiving mode of your desire. That's the thing. All you have to do in order to manifest what you want is be in the receiving mode of your desire. You have to maintain the frequency of your desire. You have to maintain the frequency of what's wanted versus the frequency of what's unwanted. And then it has to be yours. It has to be your steady attraction. It has to be your reality. And so what does it really mean to be in the receiving mode of your desire? You see, this vortex, this vibrational reality, everything that you want is already there. It's already been attracted. So your attitude needs to be different. Instead of walking around here, with the attitude of, where is it? What do I have to do? When you understand that it's really done, then it takes away all of that sort of dis-ease. It takes away all of that discomfort. It takes away the asking, because the vortex, your desires are no longer a question. They are a solution now. You have already asked a question, and now you have to harmonize with the solution, because the question and the solution, they feel different, and that's because they're on two different frequencies. And that's the thing with your desires. You've already asked, but the asking and the receiving mode are two different. So you have to practice the receiving mode of your desire, which literally means it already exists. That's the thing, is it already exists, but sometimes it doesn't feel like it exists to you. So what do I have to do? You're out here trying to manifest it. You're out here trying to make it happen with your words, with your action, even with your vibration. It always backfires on you, because you're not having fun in the process. And if you're not having fun in the process, it means that you're not in the receiving mode of your desire, because this is what we know, is that what you want, it already exists. It has already become this reality. So you don't have to go now and try to figure out how you're going to manifest it. You don't even have to go out right now and figure out what's in there. You just have to realize that it's there and find your steady alignment to that receiving mode. Because you're always in a receiving mode. You see, if you're awake, you're in a receiving mode. But the question is, what receiving mode are you in? For the desire to manifest in the form of idea, in the form of, yes, I clearly want this, that means that you're in the vortex. That means that you're in that same exact receiving mode. So when the desire feels fresh to you, remember when the desire felt fresh to you? When the desire is in its beginning stages, then it feels fresh. It feels easy. It feels like, yes, I want this. It feels pure, meaning there's no resistance in it. And most people, they don't stay in that pure, fresh feeling of desire, because if they did, then what they wanted would just manifest so fast. Right? Because that's the natural evolution of this vibration, of this vibrational reality. You see, it's not meant to only stay a vibrational reality. It's meant to become this physical reality. It's meant to manifest, but you want to know how to do it. And how to do it is by understanding that you're the perceiver, by understanding that it's already done. So now you're not trying to figure out what do you have to do. You're realizing and talking from the attitude that since it's already done, what do I need to do? And really, it's so easy when you think of it as your inner being is already there. Your inner being is one with the vibration. Your inner being is holding the vibration. So now all you have to do is become one with that vibration. And feel how easy that is, because it's like, well, if it already exists, then it takes away sort of the confusion around where is it going to come from and how is it actually going to get here. Law of attraction is to make it come here, because it already exists. It's already complete. It's already done. It's already 99% complete even before you can see it, any result at all. But mostly our friends, they're talking about what is. They're talking about a reality, and usually that doesn't allow you to be in the receiving mode of your desire, because sometimes some people are on and they're off, and that has everything to do with your focus. And focus is what momentum is about. Whatever you give your attention to, you're gonna get more of. So some of our friends, they talk about what they want, and then right after they talk about what the reason why they don't want what they don't want. So they say, yeah, I want money. And when you say I want money, you're usually in the receiving mode. I want money, and it'd be so nice to have money, but I haven't had it, but it's been hard to really have it. And really, it's just sloppy thinking, because you're sort of vibrating all over the place. But we want you to understand that it's a vibrational world. So it's an emotional world. So you want to follow the beat of what feels good to you. You see, this vortex is already real. It's already done. So now, if you want to manifest something, if you want to change the financial outcome in your life, all you have to do is just perceive this vortex. All you have to do is raise your frequency so that it's the equivalent. It raises to the equivalency of your vortex. That's really it. And then now you'll be able to perceive what's in that vortex. Isn't that interesting? So if you're wanting a lot of money, all you have to do is figure out, how am I going to perceive and steadily stay in the receiving mode of this money? Well, sometimes it's not very easy to do it when you're very specific. So when you talk about a specific sum of dollars, that's maybe a little harder, but you could take the easier route, which is what we recommend. And that route is all about, how does it feel? Because you can't perceive it with your eyes yet. And so when you try to perceive it with your eyes, when you try to make it of this physical world, then it sort of throws you off in the bushes. You can't maintain that momentum because it activates those questions of, well, where am I going to get it from? How is it going to happen? But once you're really in the vortex, when you click into that feeling place of your desire, then you can go specific, because we don't want you to just maintain this slow energy. We want you to have this high flying, high speed energy. We want you to be focused. We want you to have fun being a creator, because that's what a creator does. A creator creates, but what you're creating is more about the feeling within yourself, and that specific energy, the energy moving fast without any resistance. It feels good. It feels fun. The speed of your mind, the agility of your own impulses, the agility of your own imagination, all these things are really what you're looking for. So since you're the perceiver of the vibration, you just have to perceive the vortex. But most people, they don't just talk about vortex. They don't talk about what's wanted. They also talk about what's unwanted. They talk about, it'd be so nice to have this dollars, but let me tell you what's been going on. And we say, but reality is very enamoring, and it feels like you should plead your case, but you don't need to. You don't need to justify. You don't need to explain why you are where you are. You can let all of that sort of be deactivated. You see, we're telling you what not to do, but what should you do instead? Because you can't just stop trying to do something that you don't want to do. You have to do something else, because this is an inclusion-based universe. So if you want to deactivate a frequency, if you want to deactivate sort of a subject, all you have to do is just activate a subject. But we're telling you, in order to know what to activate, it has to feel good. And as you reach for those better feeling thoughts, then you know what that means? That means that you're able to steadily stay in the receiving mode of what you want. But it's all about emotion. You want to have more emotional desires. Every desire that you're wanting, if you figure out what is the feeling behind it, then you can feel it. You see, being in the receiving mode of your desires is really easy, because you're the perceiver of the vibration. So when you're the perceiver of this vortex, then the first sign of your manifestation is the thought of desire, yes, but also the subsequent emotion, right? It's the emotion, it's how it feels. So the vortex then is just an emotional place. Yes, what you want is real, but it's only just an emotional reality right now. The thing is, you have to hang in there in that emotional reality, and then it will become more. And if it's not becoming more, if it doesn't become more, then that means that you're not in the receiving mode of your desire. You're in the receiving mode of something else. But that makes sense, because how you feel, the thoughts that you think, equal what you get. So if you examine what you're getting, and we wouldn't recommend too much of it, because what's the point of looking at this reality anymore? It's old. But if you examine what you get, it always matches how you feel. It always matches the thoughts. So it's never that much of a surprise what you get. It's maybe a surprise that, oh, this will still happen to me. But momentum is the name of the game. And momentum is really not that hard of a subject to sort of grasp and really understand and really use to your advantage in that deliberate way that we're talking about. You see, everything you want is already there in the vortex. And so you have to just become one with that vibration. So now that may translate as you like to think about it. And if you like to think about it because of the way it makes you feel, if you like to think about it because it's fun, then you're in the receiving mode of your desire, ultimately. And the key, that's the key phrase, the receiving mode of your desire, the receiving mode of your millions. The receiving mode of your millions starts with an emotion first. It starts with the emotion of ease. So tell us, what is the feeling of $1 billion? What is the feeling of this empire? What is the feeling of your desire, big or small? What is the feeling of it? And then as you sort of examine the feeling of it, you steadily find your way into the receiving mode. You're there in that place of, oh, it just feels good, because now you're not asking a problem. You're not asking a question anymore. There's no question in your vibration. And that deactivation of reality, and that deactivation of what's going wrong, and that deactivation of the reality that caused you to bounce off and create this reality, as you get off the problem frequency and now you're in the solution, it has to manifest, it has to morph. The ideas have to start coming, because when the desire feels good to you, that means that you're in the receiving mode of that desire. That means that you're not blocking it. You're not offering a vibration that's blocking or resisting your desire. And that is what negative emotion is all about. Negative emotion means that you have a vibration active right now that's blocking or disallowing or resisting the natural flow of energy. And do you know what the natural flow of energy is? What you want coming. What you want is meant to manifest. It's natural. It's a natural law of physics, because it already exists and your inner being already is living that reality. So now you gotta get to speed with it. So it's accurate to say, I'm just becoming one with the vibration of it, because that sort of puts away the where is it and what am I doing wrong? and it puts into perspective that it already exists. And if something already exists, then wouldn't you want to go in there and perceive it? And so this is a very applicable conversation about law of attraction, because at first it comes to you in the form of an emotion, but that emotion is a manifestation. But once you have that emotion, that means that, okay, and that to you is your true first piece of evidence that, okay, I'm in the right receiving mode. I'm in the receiving mode of my desire. And then what you want, it has to start developing, but allow it to be an emotion first. Don't try to jump and turn it into a physical thing right away, because you know what happens? Then you're not in the receiving mode of your desire. You're in the receiving mode of the absence of your desire, because there's a vibrational version of the absence and there's a vibrational version of the presence of what you want. And the question is, which part are you more focused on? But we know reality is so enamoring. But as you sort of, care more about how you feel than the manifestation itself, then you really have power. Then you can be happy for the sake of being happy. And then you can allow the dream to manifest in your mind. You see, if the dream is manifesting in your mind, that means that you're in the vortex. That means that you're in the place where you're actually receiving. You're in the receiving mode of your vortex. You're in the receiving mode of your desires. And all you have to do is just enjoy dreaming. All you have to do is dream big, because those dreams are coming from somewhere. They're coming from your vortex. They're not coming from, the vortex of unwanted things. They're coming from the vortex of things that are wanted, the real life that you have created, that life that you may call a dream, but truly is your reality. Start general first, start with the emotions. How does it feel? And once you know you're truly there, then you can start to get specific. You can actually start to talk about the specifics of this desire, of what it feels like to have it, what it feels like to physically enjoy it and to physically live it, because you are already living it. And you need to own it. You need to own the vibration. You need to get out ahead of the manifestation. You want to become so unconditional with the vibration, meaning you want because when that emotion comes to you, when that first sign of your manifestation comes, that emotion is unconditional, so you can't do anything about it. The unconditional means that there's no reality, you can't see it yet. And so that's really what gets most of our friends sort of confused, and then they don't understand their journeys. You see, that's so interesting. You have to understand your journey. You have to understand what it really means to go from where you are right now to where you want to go. It already exists. So if something already exists, then that means it's emitting a frequency. And so you can tune your frequency to the frequency of that desire. And once you do that, you will know because of how you feel. Right? Because how you feel is telling you all about the mix of frequencies. It's telling you all about this frequency world, this frequency-based world. So if you're feeling good, that means you hit it. You've hit the nail right on the head. And so all you have to do is maintain it, but not maintaining in a way of I'm trying to see something that I can't yet see, but enjoying the emotion, allowing the emotion to just sort of rise and gain momentum. And then you can start to get very specific, and then you can start to really enjoy your life, because then you're really the creator. Then you can actually start to get very specific. But once you understand that it's an emotion first, then now you have it all. Now you understand that it's already real. And so since it's already real, once I'm feeling good, that means I'm there. And so all I have to do is just stay in the receiving one of it. All I have to do is maintain my thoughts in an optimistic way. All I have to do is talk about what's wanted. All I have to do is talk about and be optimistic and be positive and talk in the direction of my desire and less in the direction of what's not my desire, which is unwanted.